a time or two, I've had to explain to my daughter that sometimes when you're little, you have big people feelings. And, you know, when you're young, you don't know how to handle them, you don't know how to interpret them, and, you know, you try, but you're just so limited, you're just a little thing. And sometimes things get interesting after that. I was 10 years old, and I was having a really, really, really bad day. I was in 5th grade, which was its own level of suck. It was raining, and this is before I learned to enjoy the rain. And at some point, a kid had accidentally, or at least I think it accidentally got me, like right here, you know, like right where this ridge is where it's nice and painful, with his knee, because I was down, I was working on something, and I just turned it, boom. So I had an ice pack from the nurse's office. This is an important detail. So an ice pack it was a Ziploc bag with ice in it. That's what we had for ice packs back in those days. So then we went to like some assembly, which just further grew my misery for its own thing. And then I came back and I saw that my little ice pack had sprung a leak, melted all over my friend's stuff. And I was experiencing a lot of very intense big people emotions at that moment. I knew what embarrassment was, but I had never been embarrassed to this extent. I kind of knew what shame was. I kind of knew what anxiety was, and all that. And then something interesting happened. There was this kid about yay over here who started laughing at me, and this was also a very powerful big people emotion that I hadn't experienced before. Because when you're in the 5th grade, what's embarrassing is your dad doing anything. But I've never been embarrassed like this, and I didn't know how to process it, because I wouldn't develop healthy coping mechanisms until I quit drinking. I hadn't even started drinking by that point. So I just turned and I just started punching this kid. Not aiming anywhere in particular, but I just started punching him. And I punched him for what felt like a good 20 minutes. It wasn't. And then I stopped because I wasn't having those big people emotions anymore. But the thing was, my teacher and my classmates were also having their own big people emotions. You know, they were wondering what's going on. Why is this guy freaking? Why is this kid freaking out? You know, what's the deal? And they brought us out into the hallway, which left us there by ourselves after what had just happened. And I remember just standing there looking at this kid, and I felt nothing. This guy his face was red, he was in tears, really letting it out, letting all these big people emotions out. And I didn't feel anything. And that kind of haunts me to this day, because I was a kid who could feel, you know, who had these intense, great emotions that it would take years to be able to process and explain and understand, but I didn't have the empathy to feel sorry for the guy who I just kicked the living shit out of. And it haunts me to this day, you know, how I could have been that kid. All right. Well, that's about it, I guess. Thank you.